Let's find out if we can recreate the 5 legendary snare drum sounds from our most popular video without tuning at all, just by using the Zikit system.
Art of Drumming is not just a YouTube channel, but also a free platform where you can find numerous drum-related courses filmed by major international artists. Head on over and join our growing community.
Hey, it's Andy here with ArtOfDrumming. You might have spotted the Zikit system with some major artists like Kaz Rodriguez, Aaron Spears or Jared Sullivan. But what exactly is it and how does it work? We're super happy that we got the chance to check it out ourselves and find out what it's capable of. Zikit offers 2 snare drums with their system pre-installed. One is a British drum company Bird Snare and the other one is a Sonor AQ2 model. We got the Sonor AQ2 model and we know this snare drum very well because we already have the same drum, just in another color, 14x6 maple drum, and we used it throughout a lot of other videos. The system is installed inside the drum shell and gives you the chance to switch between a 14-inch, a 12-inch and a 10-inch option. What happens is that a rim is pressing against the drumhead from underneath, reducing the part of the drumhead that's resonating. So you can make your 14-inch snare drum become a 10-inch snare drum just by turning a small lever outside the drum shell. And this is also the only part of the system that you can see from the outside, and it looks just like a lever from an internal dampening system, for example. All in all, in the first impression, the system appears to be pretty sturdy and well manufactured. And also, since it's installed inside the drum, it's pretty well protected and there's no real chance that it might get damaged on the road or something. Now that you know how the system works, let's hear what it does to the snare drum in a medium-low tuning. Within a few seconds you can change the sound of your snare completely and also switch between totally different sound characteristics. Another thing to mention is that with all 3 options, 14, 12 and 10-inch, you always have the chance to play proper rim clicks on the 14-inch rim of your drum and also rim shots. Let's listen to this in the 10-inch setting. When I got my hands on the Zikit AQ2 for the first time, I was a little concerned how the extra weight of the system will affect the sound. So I grabbed our AQ2 without the system, and here's a direct comparison of both drums in the same tuning dialed in with our TuneBot. So even though you can tell that the extra weight inside the drum muffles the snare a little, you still get an open tone with overtones, so you have all the sound options you want, from a very open to a very muffled sound. Also, the tuning range of the drum stays the same with the system, so you can still go from very high to quite low. Now with that sorted out, let's go on with a little challenge. One of our most popular videos is our take on 5 legendary snare sounds. In this video we used 5 different snare sounds, fitted those snare drums with 5 different drum heads and also had them in 5 different tunings. But is there a chance to get close to each of those sounds only with the Zikit system without touching any tension rods? Let's find out. Now, before we get into the first drum sound of vultures, let me quickly tell you that we changed nothing with the miking or the mixing between the sounds, and also we did not touch a single tension rod in between. So everything that changes is only the setting of the Zikit system, and I also brought in 2 of our favorite muffling tools, the mini muff, so that we can turn on and off some muffling. So for our first snare sound of vultures, which is the lowest in the video, I decided to bring the snare down to a pretty medium-low, rather low tuning, because from there we can go higher and higher with the 10 and the 12-inch option. And I also decided to bring in the 2 mini muffs. So let's check out our first sound of vultures. Now, to give you an idea of what is possible, the second one is Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And Chad Smith is well known for a pretty high and very open snare sound. We're gonna go up to the 10-inch version and remove the muffling. To give you an idea of what it does, here is the snare sound now. Some small changes we're getting here. Let's hear it in the context of the song.
Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation, and little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotations. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication.
For the next one, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, we have a pretty short snare sound once again. So I'm gonna bring back the muffling and switch to the 12-inch option. Let's listen to what it sounds in the song.
She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. I said don't mind, but what do you mean? I am the one who would dance on the floor and around. She said I am the one who would dance on the floor and around.
Crazy how quick you can change between those different sounds. Now, let's get to like the edge of what's possible and try to do the Saint Anger drum sound. So a pretty high, very open bullshit sound. For this one, of course, no muffling. Let's go to the 10-inch option and get rid of the snare wires. Here's my take with the Zikit drum of Saint Anger. The last sound we had in the video was Vinnie Colaiuta's drum sound on Sting's song 7 Days. For this one, I'm gonna go with the 12-inch option and bring in just one of the mini muffs for a slight bit of muffling. Once again, the rim click sound works well with 10 and 12 inches as well, so there's no problem with having the 14-inch rim click sound with the 12-inch snare sound. So here's my Zikit version of 7 Days.
It's planned to see. Monday, I could wait till Tuesday. Friday got my mind. Wednesday will be fine. Thursday's on my mind.
Even though Saint Anger might be a bit out of the usual sound range, it is impressive to see how easy and quick you can change between those super different sound characteristics. Of course, if you want to hit the exact pitch of a song, you need to grab a tuning key. But having the chance to get this close in actually no time is a game changer. Now that we've witnessed how big the differences can be, one of the big questions is, where can you use the snare with this system? And one of the settings that came in our minds directly is to use it as a second snare. So for example, if you're playing your favorite snare and have it in a medium tuning, but for a certain song you need a very low snare sound, and for the next one you need a very high snare sound, why bring two snare drums if you can also have both sounds in one snare and you can just quickly change between the sounds in between the songs? So here's a quick demo of how this could sound with the Zikit drum as a second snare. You even get the chance to switch between the sounds during a song, so for example for a bridge. This quick versatility can come in very handy, especially in live situations or when you're recording live takes for videos or all other purposes. Of course, you need to keep in mind that you cannot make your 14-inch snare drum become a 10-inch model. But in my opinion, it's not only about recreating a 10-inch snare drum, but about adding more sound colors to your instrument. So where you had only the 14-inch option before, now you have 3 options that you can switch between immediately. If you already have a second snare drum and you want to increase the sound possibilities you have with this one, you can also purchase the Zikit system as an add-on kit and just build it inside of your snare drum you already have. This works with almost every 14-inch snare drum, and if you're interested in that, make sure to check out their Instagram and their website for more information. When I first got my hands on this snare drum and the Zikit system, I was a bit skeptical about all the options and how good it's gonna work. But it soon became clear that it's a very great tool to just expand the variety of sounds you can get out of one single snare drum. While you have the chance to switch between sounds immediately with other instruments, this option is completely new to drums and especially to snare drums. Of course, you can tune your snare drum up and down to similar ranges, but having the option to switch between those ranges and those sound characteristics immediately by turning only one small lever is a game changer in many situations. In my personal taste, I would recommend to use the Zikit system in a medium-low tuning, so you get the biggest possible variety from a pretty low to also a quite high snare sound. But once again, this is completely up to you how you want to use the system and what tunings you like the best. If you're interested in getting one yourself, make sure to visit the website and keep your eyes out for special offers like the Black Friday event this week or others in the future. We'll have a direct link in the description below. Now that you've seen the Zikit drum in action, what is your first impression and also in which scenarios would you use it? Also, let us know about your favorite drum add-ons that we should check out in the future. Post this down in the comments and see you in one of the next videos.